2016 was an incredible year for sports. We had Hall of Famers retire in incredible fashion. We had probably the greatest NBA Finals ever, and with that, one of the greatest World Series games ever. And with that, a curse end that's probably older than both of your great-grandparents combined. And it just began there. But, as usual, only a handful of teams around the world stood out from the rest. I'm Mike Canalupo, and today we talk about the top 15 teams from the world of sports in 2016. And before we begin, a huge shout out to Jonathan Dixon for suggesting this video. You're the man, JD. First up at number 15 on our list is the Texas Rangers. The Rangers had the best record in the American League at 95-67, and this was their second straight AL West division crown in as many years. Future Hall of Famer Adrian Beltre hit 300 and belted 32 home runs. On top of that, Rougned Odor, who I'm mentioning just because I really like to say his name, added another 32 home runs of his own. Now, they were knocked out of the playoffs by the Blue Jays, but that's not to discredit the great year the Rangers had. Now for number 14, the San Jose Sharks. Give it up for the San Jose Sharks. Who says you can't play hockey in warm weather? This was their first ever Stanley Cup appearance. Yeah, they lost to the Penguins, but it was close. They had 5 20-goal scorers in the season, including Joe Thornton. They deserve the recognition. Now number 13 is Leicester City, which is the most stunning sports story of 2016. Leicester won the EPL, which, you know, I don't watch the EPL, but I know about Leicester City. I knew what they did. They had 81 points plus a 32-goal differential. That's unheard of. Jamie Vardy led the way with 24 goals, and what were their odds to win before the season started? Oh yeah, just 5,000 to 1. I'll take those odds any day. Now number 12, the Cleveland Indians. Now, despite the fact that 40% of their 5-man rotation was injured in the playoffs, they still managed to shut down the hot bats of the Red Sox and the Blue Jays, and then they fell one game short in possibly the greatest baseball game ever played, Game 7, against a team that will come up much later in this list. Hey, but this team is on the brink of a dynasty. 2016 was just the first step. Number 11 goes to the Team Canada World Cup of Hockey team. Yeah, sure, they could be higher, but it's Team Canada in hockey. Come on, we have to limit them somehow. They always win. And they were undefeated in the round-robin portion of the tournament, and they had a plus 14 goal differential. Then they swimmingly beat Russia in the quarters and swept Team Europe in the best-of-3 finals. What else do you want me to say? Do you want me to say that the top 4 leading scorers were all Canadian? Because they were, okay? Number 10 goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs fans rejoiced as the team clinched their first playoff win in 22 years, beating the Texans. Number 9 goes to the Toronto Raptors. Just like Chiefs fans, Raptors fans finally were able to rejoice and witness a great team. Kyle Lowry took charge with DeMar DeRozan at his side. They won 56 games and lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference Finals. So you can't really blame them, can you? Number 8 goes to the New England Patriots. Just like Team Canada, I have to say, all right, yeah, great. They reached their 5th straight AFC Championship game, but they lost to Denver. I have some pride in watching the Patriots lose. And they won most of their games to kick off 2016. And yeah, 4 of them were without Tom Brady. Okay, they're good. Number 7 goes to the Washington Capitals. The Capitals ran away with the President's Trophy. I guess that makes sense because they're in Washington, D.C., right? They racked up 120 points with a 59-point goal differential. 3 guys scored 70-plus points, and 6 guys scored 20 goals, led by who else but Alexander Ovechkin with 50, yes, 50 goals. 50! 50! 50! Lefty. Number 6 goes to the San Antonio Spurs. Now that is a team I could get behind. Nobody plays like the San Antonio Spurs. Now, they were a Western Conference powerhouse, and they fell a little short to teams we'll be getting to shortly, but the Spurs were fantastic. They had a 67-15 record and were 40-1 at home. 40-1. They lost one game at home all season. Now, they fell short in the playoffs, which is making Tim Duncan retire with only 5 championship rings. Sorry, Tim. Number 5 on our list is the Pittsburgh Penguins. Hey, remember when some of us thought Sidney Crosby was done and their championship window closed? Sorry. They took down the New York Rangers in the opening round of the playoffs, and then they took down the league-leading Capitals in round 2, and then beat the defending Eastern Conference champions in the Tampa Bay Lightning. And of course, they capped it off with their 4th Stanley Cup in franchise history, swimming away, it's a pun, from the Sharks in a 6-game series win. Number 4 goes to the Denver Broncos. They should be higher, I think, but most of their Super Bowl 50 championship took place in 2015, and they're good this year, but they're not great. But in 2016, they did force Tom Brady into arguably the worst game of his life and won the AFC Championship from the defending Super Bowl champs. Then, to top it all off, Denver absolutely dominated the 15-1 Carolina Panthers, led by who else but Cam Newton. Denver won its 3rd title in franchise history as Peyton Manning retired, just floating off in destiny with a championship. Fly, Peyton, fly. You did it. Number 3 goes to the Golden State Warriors. An NBA record 73 wins, check. League MVP in Stephen Curry, check. A trip to the NBA Finals, check. And they aren't number 1? Listen, everybody knows all about the records Golden State set in 2016. They were 1 win away from successfully defending their championship, but this happened. Number 2, the Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron James. They trailed the Warriors 3-1 in the series, but the Cavs came back. LeBron and the Cavs brought Cleveland its first sports championship in 52 years, which is almost as cool as number 1, the Chicago Cubs. To begin the year, the Cubs ran away with the MLB's best record, finishing with 103 wins. Chris Bryant hit 39 home runs. 5 starters all racked up double-digit wins, and 2 of them posted ERAs below 3. But it was the postseason that really made them special. They rallied, just like the Cavs did, but in way cooler fashion, down 3-1 in the World Series and won. That championship, which was the greatest series I think I've ever seen, was the first championship for the Cubs in 108 years. 108 years. That's almost as cool as joining us on the top spot of this list. Which team do you think was the most dominant sports team in 2016? And who do you think should have made our list? Join us in the comments below. If you liked the video or learned a thing or two, clicking the like button means a lot to us, and we really, really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to Total Pro Sports, though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.